for January the 13th, 2025 at 7 o'clock. Let's stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Donahue? Absent. Cottingham?
Here.
Eichen?
Yes.
Gage?
Here.
Mills?
Yes.
Trevino?
Here.
All right, in your packet, you should have the minutes from December. Do you have a motion to approve the minutes? Got a motion by Mills to approve the minutes as printed. Do we have a second? Second. A second by Gage. All those in favor, aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. All right, correspondence. Do you have any correspondence on?
Just these two things I've already brought to Amanda's attention. She's going to look into them. They called today. She's gonna look into them and see if and when those checks were issued and call them back, but I did wanna let you know that that is there. One's from Bunkville Gazette, and one's from New Frontier. The other thing I had was just a reminder from Cottingham County's office that the deadline for the certification, which is already ready to go up there. And then the dam inspection, that's not on the agenda, right? Right, but it's not on the agenda, so should I cover that under correspondence?
Is that what I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I was gonna take it up in my business.
Okay, all right then.
Just be really, that's really, that's really old business, but.
Okay, well then that's all I have.
So on correspondence from Deanne Ellers for new materials in reference to a balance of $515.41. Back on May the 1st of 2024.
What's the address on that?
There is none.
Back in May, that's it. What does it consist of?
I.CA6 rock, 51.80 tons.
Like I said, I just got a call on that today, so Amanda's gonna be looking into both of those things to confirm whether or not we paid it, received it, issued checks, whatever the case may be.
Because I think the other one was $700 that was the rock that was in question, what, in October or November? Trying to think back, I don't remember. Okay. The second one is for a invoice to the Bunker Hill Gazette. This was the bid that was put in the paper for mowing of the cemetery. Back on 8/1 of '24.
And when I had her on the phone, she said she's not saying we didn't pay it, but she doesn't show that we paid it, so she was wanting us to check our records and see.
And so you've talked to Amanda?
I've talked to Amanda about that one as well.
Okay. Okay. So I'll reach out to her and find out tomorrow. Are you calling them? And are you in contact with them, or is she in contact with them?
I took the message and called, and I had them send the invoice to my email.
Uh-huh.
And then when she came in this afternoon, I gave her copies of the invoices for her to check into.
Okay. Because on that new Frontier Materials, I spoke with that gentleman down there and told him that we would take care of that, and he said okay, and there was ever a mention of another outstanding balance down there, so, okay. Do what?
Was that date on that, is it May?
May 1st of 24.
Okay, that wouldn't have been down by your house, would it, put that new tube in? That was first of June, they put the tube in, the rock was there for a while before that.
No, because I think on the front side of that, did Blake not buy the rock on the front? And then Jacob just put some rock on the back side of that.
Yeah, he just put
That
the,
wouldn't have taken anywhere close to 51 ton.
no, he put the, also, Jake did was just toss some down there to cover the culverts, the rest of it was on Blake.
The culvert should have been on property on it, first time around.
We don't have that in an ordinance, Jack. We
We're gonna
talked
give,
about
I guess
that.
we're gonna give that away too, go ahead.
Do you have the ordinance?
We already did it
Do
on
you-
principle.
Do you have the
No,
ordinance?
I don't have the ordinance. Mr.
Okay.
Mayor. But we never
Exactly.
give
So we-
stuff like that away before.
So do you have an ordinance that says that's what we're gonna do? You
know,
brought that
you
up
know,
100
you know,
times.
We are,
Do
we
you
we
have
are in a
that?
little financial bind here.
I understand that, but do you have something that we can go back and say, hey, this is where it says right here?
Well, give it away then.
What's everybody else's opinion? We don't have something in writing to say that, do we?
Did you get the board's approval to do it?
When he buys the stuff, that's on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we give it away. You don't have the right to give anything away, you gotta go through the board.
nobody gave anything away.
Okay.
Okay,
If you didn't give anything away, then let's move on.
no, let's
But there's a
discuss
bill-
this right now.
There's a bill right there, I'll try to figure out where it went.
Well, so am
Could that
I.
have been the rock
And you're
over there
saying-
at Paulie's place?
I don't know. We already.
I don't
that-
either, but
that's
somebody
right.
agreed,
That was already paid
somebody
for.
made the agreement with Paul that the rock would be fine, and that was you. You told him that you will take care of the rock, the city will take care of the rock, and nobody else knew about this, Jack, because I had a discussion with Paul, and I told Paul he needed to have a discussion with Brandon, and evidently he had a discussion with Brandon. You made the decision at that point in time that it was okay, go ahead and do that, Paul.
And I've talked to Paul later, and
And
Paul's
then-
come behind my back and said things that I never even come close to saying.
Is that like you?
No,
Yes.
I don't go around doing that kind of crap.
Okay.
If he wants to put rock around that hydrant, or if he patch, that's what he should, have a city rock on
Okay,
it.
in April,
Until he gets to the meter.
there was a motion made to buy 2 truckloads of 3/4 inch rock by trustee Eichen with a second by trustee Donahue.
Okay, so it was approved by.
Well, if it's out there in the street, fine.
So
Pay-
back,
it should be
back to
paid
this
then.
whole rock thing, and then you went to Paul and was over there having a confrontation with him, and he said, I'll send you a $10,000 bill for putting the sewer in, did he not?
He called me,
He called you,
yeah.
okay. Because he told me and Loren you was in his parking lot.
No, He
Okay.
called me on the phone.
Just like the pieces that, we couldn't buy the culvert from him, he had to take the stuff back to Timewell. And then you told him that, guess what? He wasn't gonna get paid for that job over there?
I never told him to
You
get paid.
should have never told him to send that back. He was the one taking care of that job.
He told
And
me
we
that-
went to the
he
county,
told-
did we?
hey,
Let me
he-
talk.
No,
Did you not say we're buying that through the county?
at one time he said he couldn't get it.
He couldn't get the piece, and he told you that, and
And he
so
told-
didn't Tom Reinhardt.
Hey,
Hey,
he told me that he could buy that for like.
You're
$100
backtracking,
cheaper.
Jack,
About
because you
$100
got
cheaper.
called out
Hey,
right here.
Can I speak to?
yeah, go ahead and speak.
Or are you just gonna hold the floor and act like a bully?
Nobody's acting
Oh,
like
that's
a
you.
bully.
Go ahead, let's move on then.
No, let's go right through this.
No,
Speak,
let's move on.
speak.
I already said all I'm gonna say, 'cause I'm
Yes,
not changing- I'm
because
not- I'm
you
not
was the
gonna-
one
I'm not
over there.
changing- I'm not gonna change the darn thing. You got your mind made up and that's it.
That's because I talked to Paul,
I did too.
you know? And what you're trying to tell these guys is a total different story
Paul
than what
stopped
he
my drive- Paul
told
used to
two
stop
of
my
us.
driveway all the time, visit.
Okay. So, all right. Anybody got any questions with that? All right. Let's go to the old business. Discussion and possible action for the approval of the tax levy for 2024 and 2025.
What was last year's numbers?
I called Pete and unfortunately, I couldn't locate the thing right before I get in here. It's 30-point-something% for this year is what was allowed. So I took the maximum and did the adjustments. If you give me a second, I can tell you what that rate was because I did exactly the adjustment that is allowed per Pete. So, and I just went through,
Before,
what?
it was before 4 at one time.
Right, so Pete said, when I said, well, last year it was like 4.99, he said, that is true, but every year is different. It's not the same across the board, and I didn't ask him to explain it indefinitely to me. I was just like, okay, I will take that number, apply it to the numbers that we already had, and so that we don't have to do a truth and taxation hearing. So I did exactly what he told me I could allow and adjusted these
How
accordingly.
much can you raise that? 3%.
The
The board, how much can we raise it? Is there any?
You can raise it up to the limit that's somewhat less than the truth and taxation requirement. She's telling you, Pete said that the truth and taxation requirement was 3.7,
point something percent.
so she was just below that. That's what she's saying. Your total tax levy is like $12,000. Is that, yeah, you guys can get that much. Don't you?
If any of my calculations are incorrect, which I'm pretty sure that they are not, because I did it like twice before I printed, that they'll tell me and I can make the adjustments, but I went exactly off of what he said I could use, so.
That's the normal way that the boards do it. They figure out what the truth and taxation limit is. They tax it an amount that's less than that, and then they spread that increase out among the different appropriated line items, which is exactly what Norm did. So.
All right, so do we have we did have a
We had a
consensus on that
consensus, we
last time, so we need a motion to approve the taxation levy.
Motion approved.
Got a motion by Trevino to approve the taxation levy for 24-25. Do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Second by Mills. Let's roll call that.
Donahue is absent. Cottingham,
Yeah.
Eichen,
Yes.
Gage,
Yes.
Mills,
Yeah.
Trevino.
Yes.
Discussion and possible action regarding ordering round septic tank lids. I know we discussed that at the last meeting, and
It was discussed, I was told that it had to be put back on the agenda, but I don't know why.
okay. So we discussed this last month to where we need some round septic tank lids for when they're going around and pumping out the tanks, some of them that are broke and need to be replaced. And I don't remember, well, it should tell us in the minutes how many of them that,
So
Well-
we needed 8, but we were consensus to order 12. to have
Order
some
12?
extra.
That's the smaller round. isn't it?
yes. So we have a motion to purchase the septic tank lids.
How much are they per lid?
I think what we were told was it would be plus or minus $400, like it was right around 400.
I'll make a motion to buy them.
Got a motion by Mills to buy the septic tank lids. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Gage. Let's roll call that.
Donahue's absent. Cottingham,
Yeah.
Eichen,
Yes.
Gage,
Yes.
Mills,
Yes,
Trevino.
Yes.
that's what we gotta do. We gotta get somebody hurt volunteer on them.
So Mayor, if I can mention the old business related to the dam inspection, I have that prepared for me to do that.
Sure.
Okay. So, the board asked me at last meeting to reach out to Hennigan and Associates and ask Seth to give us a work order bid, a not to exceed bid for the inspection that the IEPA required, not the IEPA, but the Department of Conservation requires us to do for the lake, the dam at the lake. And I brought a copy of that tonight. It's, the total price is $4,000 to do the inspection and take care of all the reports and interact with the Department of Conservation to meet that requirement. So I brought that here. It didn't get on the agenda. So if you guys want to hire him, you would need to do a consensus vote tonight and make sure it gets on the agenda for next month.
How bad is it?
$4,000 is what the inspection cost.
Inspection.
Perform dam inspection for the Shipman Dam as required by Illinois Department of Natural Resources, work inspection and preparation submittals of required forms to IDNR. Payment will be fixed fee paid in full upon submitting the dam inspection report to the IDNR. So, just that.
Hanging's all around, did he?
Only one I'm aware of.
That should go somewhere like Jacksonville, they're away from town.
All right, so we have a proposed bid of $4,000 to Hennigan's to do a dam inspection as required by the state. Do we have a consensus that we want to hire them for the sum of $4,000 to perform this inspection and do all the paperwork? I'm sure they're probably the ones that did the last
They are.
dam inspection,
Yeah, they did.
because I had spoke with Seth on a few occasions when he was out there and looking.
Yeah, so typically the way to handle a consensus is for the mayor to poll the board members and either get a yes or a no. And then next month, based on that consensus vote, then next month you would be obligated to vote the same way, assuming that it passes. If it doesn't pass, it doesn't pass. Just want to do a roll call to See, I'll keep for a vote.
Roll call and see who's.
Okay.
in favor
Donahue's
of
absent.
consensus.
Cottingham,
Yes.
Eichen,
Yes.
Gage,
Yes.
Mills,
Yes.
Trevino.
Yes.
So Don, you'll make sure that that gets on the agenda for next.
I've got it on there already.
Got it. Thank you.
I'm learning from my mistakes.
That's gonna be expensive.
You gotta get the levy fixed or pay the fee every year. That's what it boils down to.
They've got bypass on it, just for temporary thing, and that hasn't got fixed once.
All right, so. Reports.
Hey, Brandon, are you, before we get past, were you just finishing up new business, anything
Old business.
old? Oh, well, this is probably under the old part. We need to just set a date to do this park museum library thing. I've talked to people and they, well, I can't do it, so we just need to set a date to just do it, and if they can come, they can come, if they can't, they can't. Does that make sense?
So what are we wanting to do?
See what, if, we try to join the museum, the park, and the schoolhouse together to be our own entity. And Lance is spearheaded it a little bit, and, well, we don't have much of a spear to work with, but we need to get something done. We need to just pick a date and just go with it. I don't care, but we need to get something going, because it's gonna get past time again there, because I got some other things that I gotta bring up with you to later on, but, so, I don't care if it's
You talking about having a public meeting about it, Steve?
well, we probably ought to have a small committee meeting first, and then see what happens there.
Is this a thing that Randy Darr?
Randy Darr and Tommy Connors and Karen Wagner, pretty much, they're the wheels behind the museum.
Okay.
So,
That's what I had told them to do. I said, we're gonna have to have a consorted, a meeting to determine whether or not the village wants to do what's being suggested. And I don't know all the details of it, but I told them the first thing to do was to have some kind of a committee meeting.
Okay.
is it, are you available? Is this something that you wanna be
I don't
involved in?
necessarily need to be present, no.
Okay. Well, someone from the town, let's just pick a date now. How about, I don't know, a week from now, is that too soon, too quick, too slow, or?
So my schedule is changing daily, so I'm gonna say that may sound good now, but come the end of the week, that doesn't work.
Why don't we have you and you necessarily wouldn't have to be, but a couple board members that would be, I would think anybody that wanted to come would be fine. Anybody that's got, I don't know what interest. The big holdback is the museum. That's been the resistance there. They don't know what to do with the stuff or without the stuff, and there's a pretty nice building there that's going to waste, in my opinion, but, don't everybody speak up at once.
So are you talking about keeping it going as a museum or getting rid of?
That's not my intention, but not as it is, and maybe a cut down version of that.
'Cause I know there's a lot of people in town that's donated a lot of stuff in there that's,
But it's all
Very
the
sentimental.
museums now, because they don't,
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
but there's, as you all well know, there's a difference between antiques and old stuff.
oh yeah,
And there's a lot of old stuff in there. That's really not necessarily
You're
antique.
old and I'm
So
antique.
you're saying the 20th?
I don't know,
January 20th?
somebody say a date.
So January the 20th is Martin Luther King's Day, so that is a it's a holiday for us, so that would be a good day.
I'll come.
We could meet during the day if somebody want, or, you know, or whatever. It's just, right, yeah.
I'm available on the 20th. And that's next week.
Like you said, during the day instead of the evening.
We can meet through the daytime, cause
Does, do you, are you a spotlight on Shipman, Beth?
Yes,
Okay, I mean, so will you get Lori and post that and
So-
it'll be on there? That's our.
what time are you wanting to do this committee?
I'm pretty flexible. Whatever,
7 o'clock, you bring breakfast?
I won't be here. I don't get off work till
what you like,
12:30.
Wheaties and Cheerios?
Be roadkill.
What time do you say you get off?
I get off at 12:30. I can be here by 1:30.
So let's, how about 2 o'clock?
Okay.
2 o'clock next Monday.
2 p.m., not a.m., right?
2 p.m.
I don't keep them down here.
Well, if you wanna meet at 2 a.m., we could. We may not have a lot of, visitors, but
Here.
People sleeping.
you wanna meet here, Steve?
Wherever's good for you guys.
That's fine.
Okay. Anybody that wants to attend is welcome to attend. We'll meet here next Monday, 2 o'clock. Good?
Plenty of reminders, because I don't remember how to get home. But then you can do that on Spotlight on Shipman.
Okay. So we got that down, we'll do that. All right. Reports, finance report. Everybody's got a copy of the bills in front of them. Can I see that bill packet here, please? All right, everybody had a chance to review the bills? Do we have a motion to pay the bills presented?
motion approving.
Got a motion by Trevino to pay the bills presented. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Excuse me, a second by Eichen. Excuse me, roll call that, please.
Donahue's absent. Cottingham,
Yeah.
Eichen,
Yes.
Gage,
Yes.
Mills,
Yes.
Trevino.
Yes.
All right, everybody's got a copy of the financial report in front of you. Dawn, do you know, did the CD that was
I did not ask her, I'm sorry.
matured, did it get rolled over, or put back in at the rates that we had approved it at?
I did not ask her,
Okay.
but I can text her real quick if you need me to, want me to.
Would you please?
I sent her a message.
Okay. So just to bring to your attention, in February 27th, there's a CD that's going to come due as well. So the last one that we did for that one that came due in January, went to farmers at 3.95% for 12 months. So it's kind of a heads up for next month. All right. Everybody had a chance to look at the financial statement? We have a motion to accept the financial statement.
I make a motion to accept it.
Got a motion by Trevino to accept the financial statement. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second by Gage. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Cemetery. Do we have anything for the cemetery?
No.
I think there's a burial coming up that's gonna be, he's gonna have to get out and dig for, I think later this week.
Did the cemetery get a check from Shipman Township from the pauper fund?
They did, yes, and I don't remember the amount that it was for.
$1,000?
Could have been it, yes, we did get one from, township. Are you on the township, Steve?
No, but I'm on the St. Dennis and we got it too, and I knew it was coming. I didn't know if you guys did or not.
We didn't know it was coming, but yes, we did get one. Health and safety, anybody got anything for that? No? All right, Steve, Park Association.
Okay, we had a very successful breakfast with Santa at the library. That, I mean, it started out slow. We probably started too early. The kids aren't crazy about Santa Claus at 8 o'clock in the morning. But that went very well. I know you were there, so I think it went.
Steve is for the paintings.
Yeah, I was not Santa Claus, so that went well. And that's only gonna get bigger and better, you know, as long as that goes there. For the park, before anything happens to the building over there, you know, with the town building, don't let those tables and chairs go, because we definitely need the chairs at the park. You know, and I mean, if we do the tables too, and I don't know whether we buy them from here or do something, whatever. At one time, I don't even know if anybody was still on the board, we swapped, Bev might have been, we bought new ones for the town building and we took the old ones. So, don't let those go with the building.
You're talking about the ambulance building?
The community building.
No, anything that's over, all the chairs and everything that's over there gets swapped back and forth as the buildings are used.
Yeah.
So this is what you're looking at.
Yeah,
The
and
barn.
there's probably more there than you need, correct?
No,
No. No, the last time was
what
like
you see here is
120.
pretty much.
This is all that's left?
Mhm.
Okay. I thought there was,
Yeah.
We were, we
75 or 80.
had some on loan from the fire department from, I don't know when, but apparently they've collected those all back, so they're not
Yes, they
here
had a-
anymore, so.
I would say these better, I mean, that wasn't all that long ago that we did that.
No,
Maybe, well, it could have been 10 years ago, but
I think when we did the chairs?
Add them up together, well, I know we've done a chair search and table
Yeah.
search.
yeah.
We found some stuff that'd been loaned out and hadn't been returned.
Yeah,
We got it
well,
returned.
there in the library, there was like 10 of them in the back of the building there that we didn't have any idea that, in the back of that storage room. But I think probably the newer ones are the ones we bought. I think we bought like 25, does that sound right to
Yeah,
you?
about 25.
Yeah, okay.
30 at the most, I don't even think we did that, I think it was 25.
Okay, so that, and then, with this park thing, we're gonna have to, our sponsor for our liquor, the Sage House in Bunker Hill is not real keen about loaning us their liquor license and the insurance and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to get that, and then I'm wondering if we ought to get like a liquor license. The one we get now is just a 1 day, and we're gonna expand to go back to 2 days, 2-day event, so we'll need it 2. So I wonder if we ought to get a 6-day, if we have another event there, you know, to do something with that. I've got, and I'm supposed to talk, I'm meeting with an insurance guy to do that. The big holdup on most of them is they want that area fenced off. And this guy that I'm talking to has told us that we won't have to fence that off. That's what Brandy's insurance company wouldn't take it on at all. And Sage House was okay until they found out we didn't have a fence. You know, so that's the big thing. Well, I don't wanna put no fence, I'm the one that has to mow around it. That's why I don't want no fence up. So that's something else we'll be getting on shortly. Is that sound feasible?
But why couldn't you use like a snow blind fence that you just,
It's gotta be secure.
secured, okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah, we did that and that didn't
We
fly.
used to put up temporaries.
Well, I know, but I don't wanna do that either. Yeah, I mean, if we can get by without any of it. Some, Dorchester Picnic doesn't have theirs fenced off, and there's other ones around that do it, so I've reached out a little bit. Also, the library was in, the Little Red Schoolhouse was in better condition than what I had remembered. So, when we do something with that, the bathroom is out of commission, but that can be fixed. and there's a couple bad places in the floor, but actually the building's not as bad as what I had thought. Had anybody ever go in there?
It's been a while.
It was better, was it better than what you remembered?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not a complete wash. And then, so tables, chairs, liquor license, Santa, and the shape of the park. That's all I got with the park. We are having a fish fry, again, a fish fry and a silent auction, Ash Wednesday, and a fish fry and a live auction, Good Friday. Whatever, and I don't know what days those are. Wednesday and Friday, but I don't know what the date are.
Sounds good to me.
And a silent auction with both of those, on each date.
The silent auction will be at the, on Ash Wednesday, and the live auction will be Good Friday.
Alrighty, thank you, sir.
Does that liquor license, is that any problem, Lance? I mean, what's that amount? That,
You're gonna have to get somebody to sponsor you.
yeah, well, to, if this, I think we've drugged this out long enough with the museum and the library. That's probably not gonna go this year either, do you suppose?
I don't know enough about what it is you're trying to
Best,
do.
it's just guessing.
No, you can get it done this year.
Yeah, so then,
You can give people
otherwise,
tax
if we did that, see, the park is the town, so then the town would have to get a liquor license, and I don't know how interested you are in
The
that.
town can't get a liquor license.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how Dorchester does it. I've asked a couple people, and I'm not so sure they even know. But, we can't get a beer tent without a liquor license, so we can't, I don't know, if we can, I'm sure they can, so.
Is that the fireman's park or something over there? So probably maybe the fire
It's
department.
the town owns the park in Dorchester, but the firemen are the caregivers of it. But I don't know how that, I doubt it. Can a fireman have a liquor license, Lance?
Yep, you have to be an entity, you have to be some kind of an entity.
Yeah.
And then you have to borrow the license of somebody that already has dram shop insurance.
Yeah. So, I mean, all that stuff's what we need to get figured out. So I'm talking to, well, you probably know him,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be the insurance guru, his name is, sorry. Brock Hendricks. He's buddies with Sean Isringhouse.
I know Sean, but I didn't know.
All right, I'm done.
Okay. So speaking about the auction and the old community building, let's go back under old business. I know it's not on here. Last meeting, we talked about checking into selling the old building, what that would entail. I talked to Mark Harmon out there, and at minimum, it'll cost us $1,500. That's just for advertising. If we get no bids, no nothing. So then if we start getting into anything else, then there's a buyer's premium, seller's premium, and some other things, so. But at minimum, about $1,500, if we wanna go that route and see if anybody's interested in buying that building.
I should see how many we should, what's it called,
Sir?
Admission license, go down there, keep that. Sir, and copy, package. Like the meeting that is, you know, nonprofit. There's like 5 different categories. Says in the book.
any other grants and
Still
everything,
got
we haven't applied for any,
insurance.
so
Oh,
We got a lot of buildings here
Does
that
that cover
will
that?
let
That's
you anyway, so,
license.
I
Yeah.
mean, we'll
But
see
we
about
can't
doing that
put
this
on
next little bit,
event.
see if we
We
can do it a
authorize
couple months or
you
so.
to put it on.
And if can't get nothing, then make a decision on a lot of
I
that.
don't remember what the charge is.
And that's probably-
Yeah, you can buy, get a couple dumpsters and tear it down and throw in the
Serve
dumpsters
wet
and
and
get
dry.
rid of it for $1,500. So it's, what's good on it?
How much asbestos and lead's in it?
A lot, probably, as old as it is.
That's a bad word, Steve.
Don't ask. Don't ask, you have to.
All right, streets and sidewalks? Nothing? All right. Water and sewer?
Nothing, Jacob's replaced, I think, a hydrant already. I think they did the other day, right, one hydrant already. And then, other than that though, he's been trying to fix a leak and that, on,
Down on
Cupid.
Cupid Street.
And still trying to fight with the sewer systems and everything and trying to get all them snaked out and everything, but the cold weather's been hindering a lot of his work on all the water areas. I mean, snow and everything else in the way and that, and trying to get stuff too, just trying to get stuff in.
Okay. Maintenance report, he's down there on that.
Yeah.
So, Jacob gave this to Dawn. So the salt spreader is not very good. Fortunately, we had a backup gear to replace the one that was bad. Something we might need to keep in mind, that a new one may be needed in the future. I know that he had talked to me that one of the gears was broken, and when we had got that, that there was a replacement. I know, last year, a couple of years ago, tried to get a top built so that, moisture didn't get into that salt, harden it up, and then as it's trying to break that salt up, that chain, one of two things happen, that chain either breaks or the gear snaps, so,
Do we have a price on new gear?
we have the gear, it's replaced.
Okay, but
But
we need to have one on spare.
with that, or they need to start thinking about replacing that and going to one of them belt-driven ones where you don't have the gears and you can put a top on it so that it don't get the moisture and have them kind of issues.
Yeah, he said something about that moisture gets in there and it clogs up and then it's just one big brick of salt in there, so. But he had to replace the gear that we had on hand from when they got the new one last time, the new gear last time. And so now there's not any more on hand, and it might be something that we need to keep in mind, that we'll need a different spreader in the future. But he's making this one limp along, apparently.
Ran out of salt. We don't have salt on hand. Needed to get some, but was unable to, as trying to keep up with snow removal and other issues needing immediate attention. That was not only here, I was in Springfield. The roads here look the same as they do in Springfield, so, everybody who's commenting that we're not doing nothing, the weather was too cold, the salt wasn't doing anything, and, when I come home, of an evening, the roads looked as good as, they did in Springfield, so. I did tell him when he called and said he was out of salt, we don't keep salt on hand here because it's usually a matter of we have it put here, then he's moving it 20, 30 times through the year or whatever. So he runs to Jerseyville and they just load the truck right there and then come back and spread it that way. We don't have a bunch of salt laying around and this and that, so. Any questions on any of that? Next item he's got, it's too cold to jet the sewer line. Gonna have to wait till it gets warmer. He's been keeping an eye on it and addressing it when it is needed. I know he's contacted me a couple of times about having to go out at different hours because it's backing up. Let's face it, you gotta go out and pump it because we definitely don't need sewer backing up into anybody's house. So
You gotta go out and pump it because it's backing up into your house or somebody's calling you, then we're just gonna have to do with that until one, it gets better weather. I know that he did say Dwight and them bought a machine to do that, but Dwight had some kind of procedure done and this and that, and we're not going to ask him over and to do something when he can't even do things at his own business, so we'll just wait on that. Anybody got anything on that? There's a water leak down in front of Bob Irwin's house, that's down on McCoupin Street. Working on that, called in the emergency location to get that cleared to dig. I believe that's a 4-inch line that runs down there, and he thought that we had all the supplies on hand to be able to fix that, so. Needs to take care of changing a motor out on cell 1 at the sewer plant. I know that we have done a lot of work out there, trying to get that to where that operates and where our levels are within the adequate range for the EPA.
That has to be done by Wednesday, he said.
That's gotta be done by Wednesday. So some of this stuff is time sensitive. One hydrant has been received and it's gonna replace the one on Rose Lane. There will be a boil order for that area of town when that is done and completed. The other one is still needed to replace at the Methodist Church. And I believe, didn't we?
He said he's received the one in,
But
he's still waiting
We
for-
ordered both of them last meeting. Okay. The backhoe is going to need a set of front tires replaced on it. So, can we get a consensus
well,
that,
that one, he said that he just needed for the board to be aware that that's something that's gonna need to be addressed soon. This next one is something that needs priority.
well, and let's do the tires too, because if he gets out there, if they're going bad or something, that if he needs to get them replaced to get that done. Are we in a consensus to get that done? Replace the tires on the front of the backhoe?
Have the grooves and everything, so, yeah.
Anybody good
You
with
want me to
that?
roll call?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Donahue's absent. Cottingham,
Yep.
Eichen,
Yes.
Gage,
Yes.
Mills,
Yes.
and Trevino.
Yes.
Okay, the floats for the lift station at Lakeview, I know this has been a thing that he has been battling for a while. Apparently it turned out that it was the floats that are bad out there. We don't have any on hand. Is that Corin, Maine, where he gets them from?
I think so.
But we need to order some floats for that lift station that's out there so that he's not out there having to pump it and babysit it the same way as what we're having to do with the sewer line over here. So, we in consensus to get them ordered for the lift station out there, if you'll roll call that.
How much are they?
He meant to bring me in, he has the amount, let me see if he's in a hole.
That's all right, we need them anyway, so.
Hey, did you, happen to look at that, estimate for the floats? Okay, that's all I needed. If you look at it and it's more than that, call me back, okay? Thank Thanks. Okay, he sounds like he is in the shit. He says he believes it was 179.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to roll call?
Yes.
Donahue's absent. Cottingham?
Yes.
Eichen?
Yes.
Mills?
Yes.
Gage?
Yes.
And Trevino.
Yes.
All right, Kenny Contractors, this is the company doing the work on Route 16. Was pulling water from the hydrant. I did see them doing that. I did call Jacob. He did have a meter on that and was keeping track of how many trips. I know the one time I was out there, they checked the meter and to the tank, which was an 800-gallon tank. And we ended up he came up with 13,600 gallons that they're gonna be charged for water at the out-of-town rate. So that will be billed to Kenny Contractors on that, so we'll be seeing some reimbursement come back on that. And the last thing he's got is, should the water tower have the out-of-town rate? To people who are coming in to buy water, should the rate be for what the people pay out of town?
I believe so. They're hauling it out to the country, to their homes.
He needs to make sure it's set correctly, so
Yeah.
before he did any changes. he
Yeah, I'll
wanted
make a
to
motion
confirm.
to, yes, absolutely.
So we got a consensus?
Yep.
All right, so we'll
If you don't, your out-of-town people would be very
let
upset.
him know that he can set that rate to the out-of-town rate. All righty, anybody got anything for the maintenance report, even though he is not here? Okay,
Did you get the, I didn't ask, but did you get the meter fixed, or, cause it's failed or whatever, for the hydrants?
the thing that he's got, I don't know if he did or not.
So he said he just has to switch it out with something else that he has out there at the,
Okay,
Like-
the part, so it's
yeah.
available, it just has to,
yeah.
okay.
All right. New business. Discussion and possible action regarding the schedule of the 2025 meetings. Got a copy of the meetings for the year for 2025. They stayed the same, the second Monday of each month at 7 o'clock. We have a motion to accept, the schedule of the meeting dates for 2025.
Yeah, I just went through and plugged in the correct dates.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion by Trevino to accept the schedule of the meeting dates for 2025. We have a second.
Yeah.
Second by Cottingham. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. All right.
So I got some good news just a couple of days ago, and I wasn't able to get it to Dawn before the deadline for the agenda, so it's not on the agenda, but back in November of '22, we got this notice from the IEPA about the sewer plant, and we finally got paperwork from them just 3 days ago that said it's been fixed. So I just wanted you all to know that I know, and I ran this document by Dwight as well to make sure that the verbiage, as it relates to the technical side of the verbiage, is fine. And Dwight okayed it. He and I had a conversation about it as well. So between Dwight and Jacob, they've got the sewer plant up in compliance with the IEPA. This is an agreed order that we have to sign with the IEPA, saying that we agree to continue to do the things we're already doing. And this gets us out of the hot water with the IEPA. So as soon as I get a consensus vote on that tonight, I'll get this back to the IEPA tomorrow, and then we'll be in good standing with them again. So that's 2 years and 5 months ago that all started. And finally got a good resolution to it, thanks to Dwight and Jacob and you guys working together and getting what they needed. So just wanted you guys to be aware of that, and would ask for a consensus vote on that as well. That authorizes the mayor to sign the agreed order. So
So, yes, first of all, thanks to Dwight and Jacob for all the hours that they spent out there, and I know it seems like that we're constantly buying stuff or doing something out there, but we're bound by a documentation saying that this is what we're gonna do, and, you know, should we fail, then, you know, we could fall into some repercussions and things like that, so,
So,
all right.
roll call that.
Could you roll call that, please?
Okay, Donahue is absent. Cottingham,
Yes.
Eichen,
Yes.
Gage,
Yes.
Mills,
Yes.
Trevino.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, anybody got anything else there for? Okay. All right, go to public comments. Kim,
Fire department's got music bingo on the 25th, so less than 2 weeks away. Still have room for tables.
not sold out?
So that's all.
Okay. Scott, music bingo,
My tables.
should be promoting that. Diane,
Nothing.
Angie, anything else, Steve?
I just saw in St. Louis, and that's different, but I mean, is there any plan for here, if somebody, like it's bad weather, if they got stranded from, we got a warming place or someplace that, if they got stuck in the road or their car broke down, they could spend the night? I don't know if the churches or got any of that or something that, that's probably something, I mean, I hope we never have to use it, but we probably need something in place.
Well, I feel this building should be it.
Huh?
This building should be it because all of our stuff is all locked.
Yeah,
The churches aren't a total lockdown.
yeah,
You know, with having a bathroom and
I don't.
This room,
I
that
mean,
room,
is it
that
possible that, you know, if somebody broke down, they could spend the night here, or,
We can check into that.
yeah, I don't know if, I don't know how accommodating you gotta be, but, you know, it sure would be hospitable, you know, I don't know if it's, I don't, it needs to be.
Exactly, Kim.
That's what it's gonna turn into.
What's that?
It'll turn into a homeless shelter.
Yeah, we can
You know,
check on that.
you can do away with that, this overnight, you know, I mean, a 8-hour fix or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's some family, Nebraska's, I mean, you know, you don't,
Just guys that carry.
sure.
Just go over to your neighbor.
Eddie?
Just go to your neighbor.
Nothing.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Got a motion by Trevino, second by Eichen. All those in favor, aye? All those opposed, the ayes have it. Meeting closed at 8:03 PM. Thank you, everybody.
What time is it?
What time is it? 8 o'clock.